Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this episode we're going to look at something which is really annoying: car prices in Australia. So if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I really hope you enjoy it, and if you like this kind of content with my own cars, this cute little MG midget from 1970, this fantastic Maserati Gran Turismo from 2013, and also a Mercedes CL500, it'd be great to have you as a subscriber. So in this video we're going to look at the ridiculous prices of supercars and exotic cars in Australia. Now, Australia's a funny place. It's a country with a huge landmass. It's like 3,000 miles across, but there's only 25 million people living here, and consequently it's got a very strange car market, especially in the exotic and supercar areas. One of the problems about that is that supercars and exotic cars are way more expensive in Australia than they are in other parts of the world, particularly in the US. So in this video what we're going to do is I'm going to choose a selection of cars, and I'm going to look at prices in Australia and compare them with prices in the US. And I think you're in for a bit of a shock.
So we're going to start this. I'll just give a bit of background. So we've got the Australian car sales website here, which is kind of the standard car search website in Australia. And I'm going to compare it with the Auto Trader site from the US. And I'm going to give you, obviously they're in different currencies. This is Australian dollars, and the US one is in US dollars. So I'll convert the US dollars into Australian dollars so you've got a comparison. So this is probably the most crazy example that I could find. A 2010 Mercedes SLS with about 26,000 kilometers, I don't know, 17,000 miles or something, for nearly 870,000 Australian dollars. It's just completely insane the amount of money these are going for in Australia. And the reason I looked at this one is because of, Hoovie's got an SLS, and yet his BMW Z8 is still, he claims, the most expensive car in his garage. So that means the SLS has to be less than that. So yeah, let's have a look what we can find in the US. Similar car. It's actually a 2011. It's done 13,400 miles, and it's 230 US dollars K, which works out to be 334K Aussie dollars, compared to 870,000 Aussie dollars here. Next one, we've got a 2013 Ferrari 458 Spider. It's done 23,000 kilometers, so again about 15,000 miles probably. 550,000 Aussie dollars. Similar car in the US. It's done 18,000 miles, probably about the same. Still looks fantastic. It's from a dealer. 240,000 US dollars, which works out to be about 350,000 Aussie dollars, compared to 550,000 Aussie dollars. Next one we got here is a 2019 Ferrari 488 Pista, for sale in Melbourne for 950K, essentially $1 million. Similar car in the US, is actually not as different as some of the others. 575,000 US dollars, which equates to about 835,000 Aussie dollars. So 835 compared to 950, it's closer. It's much closer. Next one on the list is a 2012 Mclaren Mp412c with about 46,000 kilometers. just a smidge under $300,000 here in Australia. And having a look at a similar one in the US, obviously different colors and probably different specs, but 31,000 miles, kind of very similar. And you're looking at 110,000 US dollars. That works out to be 158,000 Aussie dollars, which, if it was that much cheaper here in Australia, and I'd be tempted by an Mp412c, but it's completely out of my price range, as they are now at nearly 300,000. Crazy. Next one, 2018 Lamborghini Huracan LP580-2. This one has done just over 11,000 kilometers and is on sale for just a smidge under 450k Australian. Similar car in the US, 2018 model with nearly 8,000 miles, which is kind of comparable. 260,000 US dollars, which works out to be 377k Aussie. A little bit closer, perhaps. The newer cars obviously seem to be a little bit more similar than the older cars. Yeah, not so much of a difference in that one. My favorite, Maserati Gran Turismo Sport from 2014 with 19,000 kilometers on the clock. This one is going for 143,000 Aussie dollars, and pains me as an owner of one of these to look at what they go for in the US. This one's done 11,000 miles roughly and is barely a smidge under 60,000 US dollars, which is essentially 87,000 Aussie dollars, which is not far off half what it costs here in Australia. Next one is another car I'd love to buy if I could afford it, and that is a Mercedes Benz S65 Amg. This one's done just over 50,000 kilometers and is 225,000 Aussie dollars. Similar one from the US is here we go, 2015, 33,000 miles, comparable, 89k US dollars, which is about 130 Aussie dollars compared to 230 Aussie dollars. So almost half the price. And finally, just for a bit of fun, this is an example of my MG midget. This 1970, 80,000 Ks on the clock. We're looking at 26,000 Aussie dollars. That's probably average for this vintage of MG midgets in Australia. And you can pick one up in the US, which has had a full nut and bolt restoration, ground up, everything done with all that description of what's been done, for 9,000 US dollars, which, if you convert it to Aussie dollars, is 13,000 Aussie dollars, which is exactly half of the price in Australia. So in summary, Australia isn't a great place to be a fan of exotic or supercars. It is ridiculously expensive. And to preempt the obvious question, why don't you just buy these in the US and import them? Well, we have such a punishing tax system here in Australia that any savings that you make on the purchase price would be eaten up by taxes, luxury car tax, GST, import duties, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And also, you can't, as a personal import, there are restrictions on the numbers that you can do this with. So it's just not practical to do that here in Australia. So yeah, fun times for us here in Australia. I think I might look at emigrating to the United States. I'll go and live in Wichita and join the YouTuber automotive community there. Might be quite fun. So here's the summary for those of you that are still with us. So the 2010 Mercedes SLS is just 38% of the Australian price in the US. The 2013 Ferrari 458 Spider, 64%. The Ferrari 488 Pista, 87%, shows that some of the more modern cars are a little bit less subject to this. Mclaren Mp412c, 56%. The Huracan, 86%. Maserati Gran Turismo, 61%. Mercedes S65, 58%. And the MG Midget, 50%. So I think if I lived in the US, I might just be able to stretch to an Mp412c, which would be nice.
So thanks very much for watching. It's pretty eye-opening seeing the differences in prices between Australia and the US. It's pretty depressing, really, to see just how much we are slugged for exotic and supercars in Australia. It's a great place to live, but it's phenomenally expensive, and sometimes does make you want to just pick up and head off to the good old US of A, especially if you're like me and you're into your cars. You'd save a bunch of money if you were buying cars like these in the US. Let me know down in the comments where you're living and what car prices are like in your country. It'd be interesting to know. I know, Australia, US might not be a fair comparison. There might be other countries where, cars are equally expensive. But yeah, drop a comment down below. It'd be great to hear your feedback. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like. It'd be great to have you as a subscriber and hit that notification bell. You can follow me on Instagram down here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.